Hey guys, it's Michelle bringing you some more primal movement for my Paleo on the Go members. So I'm excited today. I'm going to show you a very important movement. Whether you have hip problems, shoulder problems, you know your midsection's not very strong, or you're very tight, the deadlift is essential to get to no matter what. You have to build your way up to being able to deadlift. Why? Because we're constantly picking things up off the ground. Maybe it's not a weight, maybe it's a pencil, maybe it's your dog, but you're picking things up off the ground. So if you're doing that in a poor position, you have susceptibility to hurting yourself. So we're gonna make sure that we build you up to being able to deadlift, and maybe then you'll do it in the gym with some heavy weights too. So what I'm gonna show you first is the way that we deadlift. So I make sure to straddle the weight. I slightly bend my knees. I hinge my hips back, keeping my abs engaged and shoulder blades together. From there, I'm gonna come down by bending my knees enough to bring myself all the way down to the weight and then stand squeezing my glutes. At the top, it should be like I'm in a plank position, okay? Then again, I bend my knees, hinge back, and I drop my knees down to bring the weight all the way onto the floor. What happens a lot of times is we don't have the hip mobility and the core strength to get in that position. So I'm gonna give you a couple drills to help with those problems, core strength and hip mobility. What this is called is a leg lowering drill. I'm gonna use a block on my foot, but you could easily put your shoe on your foot, or you could put a water bottle on your foot, whatever you have near you. So I'm gonna stack this block on top of my left foot. So you can see it takes some good skill to do that. From there, I'm gonna have my arms out to my sides. I'm gonna lift the opposite leg up. So I start with both legs up, abs nice and tight, keep the tension here, not up in the neck and chest. Inhale at the top, exhale as I drop the heel. Inhale up, exhale and drop. When you do this, you're gonna feel it not only in your midsection, but you're gonna feel a nice big stretch for your hamstrings. Those are the two essential things to getting your deadlift. Now let's go ahead and start building that motor pattern. Let's learn how to hinge. I actually have this in my kettlebell video if you wanna go back a few videos, and you'll see the same drill. It's called the wall tap. So I'm gonna step a foot length away from the wall, then put my feet hip width apart. I'm gonna work on just the first part of the deadlift, so I'm gonna bend my knees, push my butt back enough to touch the wall. I feel a stretch through my hamstrings, drive forward. Notice my hands are on my hips and my ribs so that they stay together. I don't want them to be far apart, that would hyperextend my back, so I stay tight, slightly bend my knees, touch my butt to the wall, and then drive forward. That's the first part of the deadlift. Now we go back, we apply that. We now have better core stability and hip mobility. I do the same thing, slightly bend the knees, butt goes back, I've trained that pattern. I now drop down enough to grab the weight and drive up. So in case you're having trouble with those movements, those are the drills that I suggest to start building that pattern up and helping your mobility and your strength. So go home, try those, let me know how they go. Have any questions, make sure that you post them to our comments.